and pay many a year and for me and a studio and come earlier I'm new come about how the world has been concerned about food shortages and how as a country we should try and protect in farmers, and the only way that we can protect our farmers is to ensure say and fertilizer and once some kind no ebenya wo mo enye bia mo mo a ne bro no and that from cry so they can produce more. And I also told you, said there's an avenue to support this wedding schema. Not farmers at the enya a year, sa fertilizers here, you can watch you know. You pay 1 million Ghana cedis. We are looking at over 25,000 a year farmers across the country. You pay see support one more. Me catch you said you mekua one more ama yedi jumedi ebro no. Many more ebedi and komo and pay jumedi no eswa. And pay one more becoming sa. Many more. AD and Como Farmer Line and paying for Elmenchea, Miniomo AD and Como and a pay Jumediano as well. Yeniaba Lily Akorfa. Lily, your surname, how do you mention it? Keledoeme. Yes. She's the head of Impact and Learning. Wabekam and Sa and a pay Minino AD and Como Michael Avle and so Elmenchea, acting director, marketing and comms. And also Elmenchea and a pay AD and Como. I'm hoping that we'll be joined online by a Prince for a digital marketing associate. But I hope say your tree is good. If it's not, let's stick to our English.
Which need the funny fancy. A bit me I use it.
A bit me a blending.
A bit me a blend.
My consuelo.
Oh, a blending. Yes. Yeah.
Yo, you can't a farmer line.
So farmer line. Or it's a company that we've been around for about 10 years.
All right.
Our mission is to create lasting profits for farmers everywhere.
Okay.
And so we support farmers with inputs, training, using our technology, and then we create markets for them. And so basically we help them with input, what they need to grow crops, and then provide the training, and then advise on weather and agric. And then when they harvest their crops, we create markets for them. We buy it from them and give them all with the aim of creating profits for them.
So comprehensively, anything to do with farming and the welfare of farming, no, farmers, no, and no, and I'm mudi hunjuma. Interesting. That's very interesting. Now, over the period that many farmers I interact, what have been some of the key challenges you'd normally hear them say?
Okay. Dudona Nebeka say sika.
I said you were correct. You are suspect. This is not a suspect. It's a good tree.
Inti Dudona Beka say sika, but I think so. Bia obi sane say oh, and then here our Beka say sika. Inti with the emphasis can into change.
Okay.
Inti first one be access to inputs.
Okay.
And affordability of inputs. This year especially, over the years, those has been the challenges, but this year in particular, particular issue, it has actually increased by 200%. That is fertilizer prices for farmers. And also, access to information, and so BBA. Yeah, farmers, any access, no. Yeti hano, met me a type in my laptop, so say, oh, then, maybe I may planting new crop be. Saying a main, farmer needs access because of literacy gap. And they don't have access to information like we do. Aside that, so no, omo brenna, omo fertilizer kakra, do omo bro and I say, emo and I say, barrier and a banchina. At the end of the season, no, baby, beton sa no bayeno at a good price, no so or how. These are the three key challenges that met me highlighted. Aside that, so mechanization is an issue. The number of tractors are in Ghana. The challenges are a lot, but I would want to highlight these key.
It's interesting the point you made about a market and the final point you made about at a good price. Because normally when we sit here, we're talking about the value chain process for farmers. Yakasa efa one more crops, one more equipment on being here near the then a place of storage, then a place for marketing. But we seldom talk about the price at which these products or produce are being sold. How critical in the conversation of farmers, how critical is the pricing regime in the system?
It's a difficult thing because we don't have standardized ways of selling. So someone can just go to the community and say that I want to buy a bag of maize. The bags are, you have 50 kg, you have 100 kg, you have 150 kg and 130 kg. So depending on the person buying, it's like the person buying is the one who has more say on how much to buy it. Meanwhile, the farmer has invested a certain amount into getting those produce. So the farmers have little say, and at the end of the day, they are the ones losing.
I asked that question because of the practice of you and I. Driving, Miss Me driving in and driving. Now, if you come and say, "Eba, na ihunze ma, maybe soon the body," and I know very well that when I get to Accra and I'm buying body, we say no me ton of 150 Ghana cedis, and because me who's a water so into no, my back in my camp, I saying, "Oh, grandma, me 7 times, come some more." My 40. She needs the money.
Yeah.
Until I give her 50 cedis, and I take something that I know is worth 150 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
And so I think that as much as it's your domain, in conversations like this, we should try and highlight the pricing regime. We say more. But I don't know if you'd want to add anything.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, you know, Lily earlier on mentioned information as some of the challenges. For example, you and I say a person to idea, and when say you call Jumia na Amazon online, yeah, per prices in your most of these farmers, 70 to 80% of them are illiterate. They may have access to phones, but mostly feature phones. They don't have access to smartphones or the internet. Most of the time, price is not on ABI product be or Accra or in the cities. It's he may not be fully aware of the price. They are more like order takers. Price be these are some of the areas the gaps we are trying to fill in the market by what we do.
Interesting. Now let's talk about the fertilizer issue. We all know what we've been told: Ukraine-Russia war and its impact in the supply of fertilizers to the country. How much of is really a challenge in terms of fertilizer, and in the role I play a farm and my we say more.
It's a very big challenge. I wish I could really magnify how challenging it is. As we are sitting here right now, we should be very concerned because, well, even in Ghana and Africa, we don't consume that much fertilizers. Ideally, if a farmer who grows a maize farm of 1 acre, he's supposed to use about 4 bags of fertilizers, and then he would get about 15, ideally 15 bags if he follows all the practices. So let's say 12 bags. Without fertilizer, he'll be getting like 4 or 5 bags. So that's a decline of more than 60% of what he's supposed to get at the end of the season.
Wow.
So if a farmer does not apply fertilizer at the end of the season, if we were supposed to be achieving a certain volume of tons for maize, let's say, just an example, 1,000 tons of maize, at the end of the day, we'll be getting 40 tons of maize, 400 tons of maize for the country. So I don't want it to be just at the farmer level, because definitely the farmer will not be able to get enough money for his income, for his family, to take care of his children, to take them to school. All that story, yes. I know that we can trace the impact of that at the farmer level. But at the national level, for you and I and the people watching, for us, our food security is at risk because just to break down the food security, it's about first availability of the food, and no fertilizer or limited fertilizer or low prices of high prices of fertilizer means we will not have food. There'll be food shortages. That's what it means, literally. Then the next one is affordability. When it comes to affordability, it means that price of maize, which my CEO usually likes to use as an example because he loves kinky a lot. And if you look at Ghanaian foods, banku, kenke, cocoa, like everything is around the staples, the maize, the cassava, and so on. That will not be, we will not be able to afford it. The prices will go up. Everybody will be complaining that everything, whenever I go to the market, prices are increasing every day. Aside that, we also look at accessibility. Okay, it's affordable, it's not affordable, it's not available, is it accessible? Is the ordinary Ghanaian able to access these products or these crops? And then finally, the nutritional components, which we mostly don't talk about. Because of fertilizer, the crops don't get all the nutrients they need to grow. So definitely it will affect our nutrition as well. So the impact is that there's so much that we can speak on how this will affect us. This is just you and I. When we talk about how this affects the food or the feed industry, the feed industry or the animal industry also rely on the crops, the byproducts of maize, groundnut, soya bean, all that to also produce poultry, pig, and all that. So the impact are a lot.
Like you wanted to
Yes,
add
yes.
something?
Let me just add on to what Lily said. So to put it in perspective, Farmerline has been monitoring the trends for some time now. Between the time of COVID and when and now the Ukraine war, the price of fertilizer has increased over 200%. Just within this past 2 years. And interestingly enough, the price of kenke has more than tripled. I mean, kenke is now 3 cedis. It used to be 1 cedi just, I think, last year. And so you can see a direct correlation between the price of fertilizer, the affordability of the farmers, the impact on their yield, and the eventual price of maize, which affects what Ghana, as staple food, most of the food we eat are maize-based, carbohydrate-based. And so what Lily is highlighting is a very serious issue, because if we do nothing about it, tomorrow, it will affect the availability of food on the table of the ordinary Ghanaian. That's how serious it is.
Now, it's interesting the picture you paint for us. As much as the figures may not be the accurate figures, but even just the hypothetical ones you draw for us, where you tell me that if you are expecting a yield of, let's say, 100, let's say, maize bags with fertilizer, and then if you don't have fertilizer, you're expecting around 40 maize bags. Now, that's a very huge number of maize we are going to lose without fertilizers. So how then do you come in as Farmerline with all this data and information on your desk? How do you come in?
Well, thank you. So that's why we are embarking on this initiative. We are calling it the Support a Farmer campaign. And what we are saying is that every Ghanaian has a stake in this. The two main issues are the price of fertilizer and the affordability of the farmers. So in terms of the pricing, there's not too much you can do about the pricing, but in terms of the affordability, we can do something about it. So what we are saying is, let's see how we can subsidize the price of fertilizer for farmers. Currently, Ghana, fortunately, we have a fertilizer subsidy program, but what we also want to do as a private sector is to support that, because I'm sure you're aware that there are so many farmers and there's only so much the government can do in terms of how much fertilizer can be subsidized. And so Farmerline, in collaboration with partners like you, like Global Media Alliance, we are raising a campaign. It's a crowdfunding campaign, trying to get ordinary Ghanaians to donate whatever little amount they can for us to subsidize fertilizer for as many farmers as possible. And so if a farmer can afford 10 bags of fertilizer and he gets a discount of at least 10 cedis per bag, that's about 100 cedis. And so what we are saying is, any amount you can donate to this cause, and then we will use that money to directly subsidize fertilizer for as many farmers as possible who need it, just to ensure that they get enough fertilizer for this season.
Interesting. Now, I would want you to just pause for a second and then walk us through the process of the donation. I mean, one by one.
Okay,
because There are very learned viewers and listeners of the Happy Morning Show. And you walk in your school corners in between. And you walk until also be a chefa because kids will be answer.
Yes.
And you also want to the can I say?
Yes.
Send you almost know a deal contribution everybody. At this point, with the embargo Tomoso. Okay. Young country.
Okay.
Into processor. So be a chunk of the information which our now was here the Maya phone. Ninya cannibal phone. My man summarizing a cacran farmer on my phone. And the opinion from Wahan say a minimum 18 common. In Russia Ukraine war, the Diaba. Now, no more air chased him, minimum that the Queen said. So we a farmer, not so the fertilizer, a dear would be an air. Young man said, 4 acres land. Now, all the fertilizer, a dear. The tendency is at the end of the day, hypothetically, we when 100 bags of maize, with fertilizer, very high. But Kobasi when you fertilizer, I'm saying, 4 acres now. We when around, let's say, 40 bags. And without fertilizer, you are losing 60 bags. That's how real the situation is. Abana said Russia, Ukraine, why fertilizer into me and bomb mining. Did you know this? Now, me Ukrainian, I know the importance of fertilizer when it comes to air farming. But as to the gravity of its impact, fertilizer any horn and one, the other 2 years, and you name come out here, and to me, ya if any and fair any and the Niam, Boat, Niam, pet a quayam, you bring your fertilizer, ne born the from. Eddie ama young farmers are one more ever to me, Eddie Adriane and the buyer Eddie Amaya, not Asamaba. And see how I'm paying for a moment chain, our movie farmer line. One must say, one more dream who say, Sagana for any idea who boom, not a cassa, a Sikaka crap, say a 10 cities, say a 20 cities, say a 5 cities in Poo, and I bet me a contributor. Send you bet me yes, car, you'd back to fertilizer CB. Ah, no born yet, but no born work for ma. Farmer a bit me at top fertilizer ebi na odi adua ne board ye ne banche ne bro ne bayire na ye susuni enye bi ato ne dia ne boni mpo no abafam kakra e dia maye say no ana yo monka bofu bi enti forever processing the same
Pacho answer na e backup process your equiaphobia any or wedding can kakra
okay
sema mo kanona me pese me bonnet of our ha
you
obi can say esan say fertilizer boa cost nti na efo a eya ota edono na e wo say oteso ba no obi nso can say na e wo say o stressika na otumidito fertilizer obi nso can say wate ebrufo ne so na afei de o ye Katien Kwan. Obi nso say minishia metimi aye mintimi complaining so. Esan say mintimi nye ho hwe. Ti e twa say ase obi ani hope bi wo ho. Afei so ide metimi aka no bro fanka. Kan. Okay. The fact that we cannot do anything about it than just to reduce the number of acres that we farm on. We say nipa kwana ka say ebia wintimi anto fertilizer was so tona or say okay me ha me ho ene say 5 acres na me wa me do ebia 3 acres bi na metimi ahwe no mom yi
yeah you but your process no it's the same your monitor say you were just some 8 minutes to run up our conversation. Yeah,
it's very simple and one say wadali *887 *4444 hash. All the networks. *887 *4444 hash. Now, the amount we donate, any pin. Now, why payment? Or smartphone, so I bet me call Chango app. I bet me download the Chango app no Android and Apple Store. Now, through the process, the same process. Now why your donation and that's over fraying in 399 399 over 399 will be about how to donate. This is a very simple process both for individuals or your company be and now your corporate organization now person who donates so bet me fraying then we'll show you how to go about the process.
You can send a bit to me the abremo.
Oh, any amount. We bet me the 10 cedis, bet me 1,000 cedis, bet me the 100,000. I mean, just recently, some corporate organizations are or more mine maybe am mine 25,000, maybe am mine 150,000 and the good thing about this is because a public crowdfunding initiative in third party independent auditing firm ebe management of the funds, making sure say sika farmers no you so audit and our reports, and it will be made public for all donors to see where the money is going.
And could be able to. Now partners are money or yes, but you bet me partners been able for
currently your main partner for technology ITC, okay. IT consortium. Platform now, your friend Chango, crowdfunding. They've given it to us free to use as part of their contribution for this campaign. And your media partners, most Global Media Alliance is also fully supporting us in this initiative. Multimedia and so are almost supporting you for this initiative. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm saying all the 399 at 399 no at da. Oman for everything. Animal Eddie and so. Any final comment? Person with my actual for a final project here.
Okay. Wait, the maker say. This is.
Feel free.
Okay.
I was just kidding. But I wanted the salient part to be gotten by your viewers. And,
yes.
Okay. And see, asem way the obia asem. Make I say, I was say young. If I ain't na home dase. And see, I was say kitwe biensa. Nya obia betimi aye na ye di aboa no, because at the end of the day no, obia na asem yi efa ye ho. Inti meka say let's all come together na yemboa ye ho. Ye boa ye ho ama ya boa ekuafo omutumi enya sa imwaya, and also at the end of the day no yenso ebenya ho mfaso. Inti yen na ye yenka ye humbom na yentumi ye sa adwumade.
Okay. Yes, I forgot to mention Farmer Line to set the pace no. The company and the staff no ye kind the 200,000 Ghana cedis eto. Okay. A share initiative we yes, and sana ye started here. Inti to just to set the example. Yeah. Inti yes Robia said let's dial *887 *4444 hash or call us on 399 or download the Chango app on your phone and donate to this cause to secure Ghana's food security. Thank you.
Social media, even more.
Oh yes, your social media, your website, no, farmerline.co, that's .co. Okay. Oko Farmerline, all the details of the promotion. And the same thing, your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the social media handles. Farmerline. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yo, I'm for Yebreno Ayabe na anapa yebeda inia Lily. Ase sanzo na yene Michael and so ase omo efi Farmerline penyimfo a omo ebe come and sana pay ya yene omo edi enkomo